Welcome to this section of product design and value engineering. Up till now, we are discussing different types of needs and why needs of customers are very important to us. In today's session, we will discuss how we can gather different types of needs from customers. What are different methods of gathering needs from the customers? How we can make a database of different needs with us so that we can analyze those database further to make those needs into specifications. So let us discuss need gathering method. Before that, let me show you this quote by Mr. Steve Jobs, which we all know is the we all are familiar with him. He is the founder of Apple Computers. So he says that we have got to start with customers because our customers will ultimately decide what product are they want. So what he exactly said is you have got to start with the customer requirements and the work back towards the technology, not the other way round. So what he suggests is that do not focus on what technology you have or what products you want to build on, but focus on what customer wants actually from you and build those products which they want. If you do have technologies available, that is good. If you do not have technologies available, make those technologies possible. Try to invent those technologies, but make the product which customer wants. This is the basic idea about any product development cycle. Whenever you are trying to build a product, make sure that you are addressing problems of the customers. Make sure that you are addressing some problems of your customers and you are satisfying their needs. It doesn't matter if the customer is directly telling you or you are deriving from the customer behavior. How to gather the needs? The first one that is very intuitive is customer interviews. Just ask the customers what they need. You can send questionnaires to customers and tell them to fill up the different questions mentioned in the questionnaires, or you can say have a focus group of customers and you can try to extract some needs from them, or you can have observations of the customers. That is a quite a good method and we'll discuss about it. And the last is be the customer. All these are different need gathering methods. Let us discuss one by one. The first is customer interviews. What are the benefits of this method? The benefits are that this is one-to-one and it gives a detailed insight about what actually customer wants. It is very qualitative. So that is a problem with that because we want normally we want data in terms of quantities. We want the data in terms of numbers. But there will be good and bad. There will not be numbers. But that is the case with general line. So the another example, another advantage of this method is that other people will not have influence on the customer because it is one-to-one. Other will not have any influence on the person. And the disadvantage being it can be influenced by the interviewer. So if you are an interviewer and you are selling your product to a customer, you are reviewing your product to the customer, you might say that you might show off your good features to the customer, and customers will say that okay, I like this product. But you have not given customer the chance to explore the less attractive features of your product as well. So this is what customer interview is. The main problem with the customer interview is that you need large number of candidates. If you are interviewing only 5 candidates, then around 75% of the needs will be disclosed. For capturing the needs of entire population, you have to at least interview more than 15 or more number of peoples. Then there is a focus group method. What we do in focus group is instead of one customer, we make a group of 4 or 5 customers and do a brainstorming session with a moderator. And there will be where discussions and question and answer about what should be there in the product, what are the needs, how they are using the product, what they will like, and they will build on the idea of others to discover new needs or discover the needs of the products. So uh, they can build on the ideas. This is the advantage, but this also is the disadvantage because some people can be influenced by other people also. A moderator's role is very important. Why moderator's role is very important? Because moderator can influence the focus group, and many times it is observed that people will complain about moderators during the focus group. So one-to-one interview or focus group, which one is better? Here is a comparison of both the methods in terms of number of groups or people required during the process. But remember that one-to-one interview is less time consuming, whereas focus group, single focus group will consume more time. The another method is questionnaires method. In questionnaires method, we can get the large amount of data. We cannot interview hundred or thousands of customers. We cannot interview hundred or thousands of focus group. But we can send questionnaires to hundred and thousands of people via some electronic means, via emails, via online surveys, etc. Or via paper surveys also we can do that, and we can enter those data into our computers. But and it is also less costly because other methods are time consuming. One-to-one interviews and focus group are very time consuming, and your one person will be involved in this process. Here there is very less cost. We have to only spend for cost of emails, or we have to spend for cost of print. It can be done online or offline, as we already discussed, and skilled interviewers are not required here. In the focus groups or customer service, we need skilled interviewers, and it can cover more demography. That is also an advantage because if you are doing interviews or focus group, you probably are focused in a city area only. But for questionnaires, you can send your questionnaires all over the country or all over the world for that matter. And problem with this method is that people might get bored during the questionnaire, during the filling of questionnaires. If your questionnaires have much amount of questions, then people tend to get bored very quickly. So you want to make sure that you ask minimum number of questions to extrapolate maximum number of information. And instead of making customer write the answer, you provide the options and just want to make them tick marks so that they can quickly fill the questionnaires. Here is an example of a questionnaire, and this is how we can get a large amount of data from the customer. Then we can use observation method. Now observation method is you observing customers using the product. This is as the name suggests. We do what we do is we observe the customers while they are using the product, and we try to find out how they are using the product and what they are experiencing, and how what they are liking about the product, what they are not liking about the product, where they are feeling difficulties in the product, where is the chance of improvement in the product. But for this method, we need some experienced people to perform these observations, because many people or a layman might not catch something which experienced people will catch very easily. Advantage of this method is that this will give insight about what customer feels rather than what customer thinks or says. So if I am using a product at certain time, there is a feature which I do not like, or there is a step which I do not like, then I might not say it loud, but when I am using it will show reflect in my reactions while I am using the product. So this is what observation method is, and it can give data which is not expressed by the customer. That's we already have discussed. Okay, and the another method is being the customer. In this, you as we have already said that start with the customer is what Bill Gates has stated. So you became the customer yourself, and you use your product. Why? Because sometimes what happens is that, as this cartoon represents here, that when you give some survey to a customer, they become unhappy and no one likes surveys because it takes unnecessary time. There is not any incentive, and it is boring process all in all. So it might ruin the experience of your customer also, and they will tend to move to some other organizations also. So what we do is we become customers ourselves, and we use products ourselves to evaluate. We also use the products, we use each and every step, we give our experience to notes, and we build a database of what we like and what we didn't like during the use of product. It gives more data basically, and it can be very helpful while making decisions. The problem with this method is that this can be very biased. If I am using my own product that I have designed, then I might know about some features which can be used easily, and I am using those methods only. Then I will be biased towards my product, and there are chances that I will have a good impression of my own product, and other people might not find it very helpful. This is the main disadvantage of this product. But ultimately, this product helps. This method helps understand your product very much. Now, from all these methods that we have discussed, these are some useful things to be remembered, which I have derived from all these methods. You can pause the slide and you can go through all this. We have already discussed this, but it will be helpful for your preparation or your selection of the methods which is best suitable for your purpose. Also, here are some another comparisons. Again, you can pause the slide and pause this video, and you can not download it, read on it, or you can search in the web and you will have the data by itself. Okay, this will be all for this session. Thank you.